Welcome back. To those of you that are joining this one, pop over to today's part 1 because we had an interference in the live stream and part 2. So this is continuing where we picked up off. Hey, is the sound okay? I have no idea what causes that. I can only imagine it's an interference. Okay, perfect. Okay, I'm just going to continue. Hey, Marie. So what I was doing with the natural brown is just coming in to give this a little bit more of an aged look. So I'm just kind of looking over where I want it to go. Especially it needs to be a little bit more under there. It will be a bit darker as we go along, and then we come back in with a lighter colour. So it's just finding where you want your shading to go. Hey! I know. The gremlins are at it. Yeah, so if those of you that are just joining us, there was a tiny part 1, but we had an interference in the live stream, which is fine because we just pop back. It's just annoying for those that watch it back to have to keep popping on streams, and for those of you that are here having to pop around, it's like pop, pop, pop all over the place. Okay, so the very darkest is chocolate. Now, chocolate is super dark, as you can tell. It is a gorgeous colour, and actually it's very much like espresso. When I was doing the colour comparisons, the only one that's closest to it is either sepia or espresso, and espresso was actually a little bit closer. So if you're going to be doing this in Prismas, I'd suggest you pick up your espresso more so than your sepias, because it's just a unique colour. I know. Hey again. Hey Monique. Let's see how long they stay away this time, eh? Hopefully they don't come back because they're really unwanted. So yeah, as I was saying, with the chocolate, it's quite a unique colour. Like there isn't a brown that goes this deep in other. Can you see how like dark that goes? So the closest when I was swatching out, just to have a little look at what was nearest in Prismas, was espresso. Now I use espresso a lot for shadows anyway, so it's quite a good colour to add depth in regardless. And what I noticed as well while I was doing all the comparisons is that the Derwent Lightfast do have a lot of true to life colours. So a lot of theirs is what I would class true to life. Like the greens are very much what you would look at in nature. The ochres and stuff are more like, you know, landscapes, and I think they've really put that in mind. Hey, Michelle. So yeah, I was really, really impressed with the colours, and there's also some colours that really are unique to the set, and I found that the reds were deep as well, which is really nice. I mean, I love Prisma reds, but the Derwent reds are really unique and deep. So if you're looking at colour ranges, because a lot of us do go by colours, and what kind of colouring that you go for, I think if you went for a lot of nature, you would find that they are, Mum, they are. You would find that you really would like the Derwents. If you're doing a lot of nature, a lot of natural scenes, a lot of landscapes, even wildlife, you'll find that these would be perfect. So they have a huge thumbs up from me, and I never review pencils for 2 reasons. I'll tell you my opinions, but I won't ever do reviews, and there's reasons why. One is because everyone's opinions on pencils are so different, and 2, I can't review pencils unless I use them. So on a swatch, I can tell you what the colours are like. I can't tell you how they perform. So I view them like this is kind of like a review whilst you're using them, isn't it? Rather than just reviewing them out of the box. I find it hard to review anything unless you really get to grips with them. You've got to use them first. And yeah, I'm very impressed with them. I think they're really beautiful. Happy hot afternoon back. Are you melting as well? Yeah, they are deep, deep colours. The pigments are gorgeous. Hi, Cynthia. Hey, Stephanie. So they do have a huge thumbs up. And I can say by using them so far, the pigments are divine. I'm hardly pressing on the paper. And if I bring you up close, you can see like I'm doing a texture. I'm not doing it smooth. I want it to have quite a texture to it. And again, you will see that in a picture as opposed to this. It's easier. Oh, is it Sharon? Cynthia? You have a cold? Oh no, I wish better. Hi, Eileen. I love it how everyone comes in. Hiya! My kind of people. Okay. So next I'm going to go back, because that was your darkest. What I'm going to do is head on back to my lightest colour. And this is just to bring out some of the lower tones. And those who join in, we did have a tiny part 1, which only gave me a little tiny moment. I know, they really are. Okay, I'll try and remember that. Thank you, Sharon. I'm going to call you Sharon J, because I've got quite a few Sharons. Otherwise, people are going to go, oh, me. And I'm like, no, the other one. So with my lighter tone, I'm just going to come back into these little areas. I haven't done the hair, remember, coming down yet, because I will muddy it when we do the skin. So you do those bits last. And we're going to do the leather straps, but we'll do that after as well, because I've got to do these ones at the top. So let me do all these bits, and we'll do the straps, and then we'll go over to the indigo. So I'm just fiddling a little bit here. Just gives it a little bit more texture. Yeah, it's actually a little bit easier, isn't it? Hi, Sky. I think with so many names the same, it's easy. I think we have more Sharons than anyone else. Okay, so just very, very quickly back to my chocolate. And just very fine lines. It's just to make it a little bit textured. I mean, this is just my version of stuff, you know. It's never going to be exact. It's just my versions. So just where I want a little bit more shading, I will do. It kind of brings it out. I hope that the camera's picking it up, because it really does look textured on my, you know, sitting in front of it. Okay, and then just to the top, I'm just going to bring a little bit more down. Now with these, I'm going to do these quite dark. So I'm just going to stay with the chocolate, because they're going to have a gold and an indigo in here. So I just bring up. I'm not going to fiddle too much with these. These are tiny. These are so thin. I think the thinner a place is, don't worry too much. The larger an area is, you can see shading on a larger scale. I just think when you've got small areas like this, just keep it simple, because it can just, it will get lost. And I'm just going to go to my Van Dyke Brown. No, not yet. Not yet. I've got quite a few films to catch up on. Have you? Is it good? Thing is, I cried when I was a kid at that scene, and if that happens again, which it will do, I know I'm going to be a big baby on the new version. I'm a very emotional person, and with films, with movies, I'm no different. Okay, so I'm just bringing this colour in, so I'm just concentrating for a second. If there's any issues with picture or sound, do let me know. I'm a baby, honestly, Pat. I am a baby. Mamarazzi. I like that name. It kind of suits you, Marie. And just gonna to chocolate, which is making me very much want some. And there's none. I've got no sugar-free chocolate in the house. There we go. So it's just enough to kind of bring some colour in. Right, we're going to go to larger spaces now. Now, as I said, for those coming in, you didn't see it, but I kind of worked out some colours that I liked. So I was fiddling with which ones that I wanted to end with. I mean, this had the sapphire. This had the sapphire. I minus sapphire because the sapphire is here. It's a bit too light. So I took that one out of the equation and I really liked the other four. I think the sapphire was just a tad too, I don't know, just not true to the colour that I was looking for. That was all. It's a beautiful colour, but it just wasn't what I was looking for. I was looking more for a deep blue. So I minused out the sapphire. Now this is a good way of working out the colours as well. Hey Anna! I did not see you up above. Are you home now? Well, obviously, if you're not and you're still out at the beach, then enjoy your time. But yeah, I was working colours out, and the good thing is when you work it out beforehand, it's a good. Yeah, I think they're going to melt. Oh, you're home, okay. That's okay. Oh, well, they're going to moan. Yeah, I think they would melt by the time. They'd melt going out of your front door. Let's face it, Pat. I need some more juice. So this is a good way of working out the colours, because if you're not quite sure and you want to do a little test and you know you want to be super organised, you don't have to do all of this. I'm doing it because it was easier for me. I put them down the side of potentials. They're not all. They're just potentials. And then with your potential colours, you can kind of look at what you can eliminate or what doesn't go together or what's not quite right and you wanted to take out or put in. So I actually put Midnight Blue in and took Sapphire out. Originally, I only had these four. I took Sapphire out and thought, well, what can I put there instead? That was the tone I was looking for. Oh, you know, this is my cheeky one. Blue and pink. And then this here, again, I had a good look. The yellow ochre was overshadowed by the sienna. No need to use it. So we went for banana. Can you believe I only have 3 colours? Seriously. So I went for banana, which is a really beautiful yellow. It's probably my favourite yellow in the Derwent Lightfast set. And then the yellow ochre is more heading towards like it looks like an eggshell. So I minused it. You didn't need it. It was so overshadowed. So I went for the sienna, the chocolate, and if you really needed to go in any deeper, you could bring in a midnight black. So you see the good quality of having a little plan is just that you won't get lost. So I love this combination down here. The Van Dyke Brown, chocolate, brown ochre, and natural brown, and that's what we've used. But on a larger scale, can you imagine what that would look like? See, if I had that, say for instance it was leather here, that would look amazing. But we're going to do this one. So we're going to head first. I can't remember what I put down first. I think it was Midnight Blue. We're going to head to Midnight Blue. Now the underneath I might do as leather, we'll see, but we're going to come to this area first. We'll have a go. Now, Midnight Black is not in this. That's in our goldish. So, dark indigo, Midnight Blue, and then we head on over to our Ocean Blue Dark and our Denim. It's so hot, isn't it? See? I told you. Have you all got your jars? All right, then, Pickle, you take care. So good to have you back. I told you all, have a jar, go and get a jar or a cup, see how many times I moan about how hot I am. You'll be a rich person by the end of the stream. Seriously. Okay, so I've got to get my colours. Ocean blue dark, dark indigo, midnight blue and denim. Yeah. Go and grab them. You'll be a rich person. It's your own money though. That kind of defeats the object, unless you go and get someone else to do it. In which case you won't, but you'll be all right. Okay, I think I'm going to go for dark indigo before I put that one down. So I'm going to sort of plan out, just initially, I need to know where I'm going. So just very lightly, I might have to zoom you in. I hope it doesn't go all funny. Take care and have a good holiday. We look forward to seeing what you buy. If you find any cool shops. Have a good time and a safe flight. Okay, so very lightly just plan out where you want your shading to go first. So just go with your dark indigo to start with. It just plans it all out for you. So this would be darkest down here. It'd be lighter in that part, right? So keep that as your lighter area. So we'll come in with our midnight blue after. It's the same with this down here. We're going to come with our dark indigo. This is just how I colour, by the way. This is how I kind of plan where I want my stuff to go. So I'm pressing super light because you're going to layer up. And it just gives you an idea and a plan. I just find it a good idea to do this. Where can I put that? There we go. I find it a good idea to do this so that I have a direction, because if I don't, I can kind of just put my shade, you know, my shadows and stuff anywhere. This kind of just gives me a little bit of a direction. So I'm just going to come up a bit with that. I'm not in chat for a second because I'm just planning where I want my shading to go. Okay, so like that, that's where my indigo is going to be. Hey Andrea, how are you? And then with my midnight blue, which is my lightest shade, you can kind of just look at where you want to put the rest as well. So it just gives you somewhere to go with it, and very lightly, very, very lightly, the rest will be that colour, because it's going to be super deep and it's going to be such a nice shade. Gives it really nautical. It will be like a nautical look after. Hey Ian and Ella. Oh, okay, that's okay. Colour away. Hey Charlotte, I didn't see you there. I hope you're good. And then on my darkest point, and I mean darkest, it's going to be the ocean blue dark, which is darker than the indigo. So that will be in the depth. So just plan, okay? So this isn't going to be like a huge amount, but it will be enough to show. And then we'll go from indigo upwards again. So just getting this started. I think we'll come up here a bit and around this little sign or emblem that she's got on her. It's like a brooch on her hat, really. Okay, so that will be there. Now we can kind of build on that because we've got our colours down. So now I'm going to go back to my dark indigo and I'm going to start to build up. So we're going to go from where that point was. Now this paper so far is taking these colours pretty well, but we're going to see how smooth we can get it, because this paper is quite temperamental with my pencils. I don't know if we've had this discussion. I think a few of us have had this problem. We're finding it quite difficult to get a smooth lay down with any pencil. So light layers built up has been the way forward for a lot of us. And I mean, that's how I work anyway, but sometimes it can have a right texture to it and we can't get that sort of pencil look to look smooth. But that's fine, we can work with that. We'll work with it as we go along. So very lightly just apply your layers upwards, and we'll build and build and build. Michaela, and hi, I just kind of go with also where the shading is on it. So we've got shading on the bottom, which is going to be deep because these parts are kind of looking over. So look at that. May's just done a really good video on light sources. So you're kind of looking at where light's going to be blocked, but as you're coming up, it's going to be a bit more open. Same with any folds, anything that hits, so there'll be like a shadow underneath, you know, these parts. You kind of just look. Also underneath chains, there might be some, anywhere that an object might hit. And the same with any folds, so you'll have some there, again some there, and then it goes to lighter. So it's anywhere where a object or something may hit. It's the same when you're looking at her face. Her nose is going to overshadow this side of her face. The hat will overshadow the top of the face. So as you work down, the neck will overshadow. You know, wherever there is something, you will have a slight shading area, so you can work on that. So just think about where you want your light source to come from too. Okay, so again, you're going to go back to your midnight blue. So we've got to really sort of build on the colour. And the colours do work really well together, as I tried before, but it's just a case of having to build. It's if we went in too heavy-handed, it's just going to go a bit like a wax bloom on the paper. It kind of just muddies together rather than smooth. Sorry, I lost myself because I was just concentrating then. So if you go too hard with any pencil, it's going to get a bit of a bloom with the pencil on the page. So there is not going to be any particular light area on this. It's just going to be a lighter shade. So there's not going to be like a white space. You're just going to build up. We might have to use a blender on this paper, I'm thinking. So we're just going to see how we get on. Now all these areas here will have gold, so let's just see how this part goes. It's on Amazon. Hi, Vicky. The link is in my last video. It's on Amazon. It's a BTKSY, is that what they're called? It's one of those, I think. And it holds 220. They only had a couple the other day, but put it in there and keep an eye, because they restock. I think someone bought it the other night. I think there was one left when I checked, and somebody then bought it from my link. I'm not an affiliate, you don't have to use my links. It's just there at your convenience. Okay, so you can see it's just kind of take a while to build. It will build though. So again, you're going to come back in with, you're going to go to Ocean Blue Dark, and we're going to have to build now. Thank you. It will take time, this one. So just come towards where your shading is. Now, the shading was done somewhat for you. So it's, you know, it's kind of helpful with her drawings, because her illustration, she does give you a bit of stepping stone. And the good thing about that is that kind of helps you and aids you to where you're going to put your light source and where you're not. So she's done that for you on the hat. We're just going to work our way through and see how it looks. Right. and then back to Indigo. I'll work on this side first. And as I said, I think we might have to just actually use a blender, because this is what the good thing about using different pencils on different papers, because you get an idea of how they perform, etc. And this paper is so smooth. Hiya, Audrey. So if I zoom out, because it kind of blurs a bit. I'm working on this side first, and then go back to Midnight Blue. And just keep going. Now, I work in circular motions. And don't forget, you can also, for your own personal use, copy this and put it onto a PDF for you to print out in your own paper. That might have a little bit more tooth, because I'm finding that this paper is so smooth, but I love the illustration, so I don't care. But yeah, it is super smooth. See, now what I'm going to do is I am going to grab a blender, just see if it does any difference whatsoever. And I'm going to get the Derwent one, because we're using Derwent, but the Derwent blender is my favourite. Hey, Louise. Hey, Faith. Okay, so this is just the Derwent blender, and I'm going to see if that makes a difference, because the paper is just... it's not perfect with anything, and I think on larger areas we might need the help of a blender. So yes, you have seen me use a blender. They're not contagious. I always thought they were like the lurgies. But we got the colours down, so let's blend them properly. That's worked so much better, I think. Yeah, I think that's much better. What do you think? So again, we've got to work this side. So we're going to come over to Ocean Blue Dark. I think that's much better. No shame. Yeah, but I don't use mine. Terrible. I give my blender such a hard time. And it's actually not that bad. That's what they're created for. So get your colours down and get them most of the way there, and your Derwent blender will do that last step for you. I wondered if it was contagious though, honestly. That's something. Oh, I like that one as well. I do like that one. I love my Derwent blender though. I haven't got it yet. I still need to work on some of my others. See, I've got the Derwent one and the I've got the Derwent, the Caran d'Ache, and the Prismacolor one, but the Prismacolor one is not my favourite. It's too scratchy. I prefer these two, but I love the Derwent one. Yeah, it is like butter, that one. Okay, so we're still with this colour for a second. Then over to our dark indigo. And just get the colour down properly. So I'm kind of just looking at where I want the light and dark areas. That will be light in the middle, so I'm not going to go anywhere near that. Just bring some of that colour up. Not too much, just very light application. Hi, Jo Beth. And then we're going to go for our midnight midnight blue again. I think sometimes there might be a need for a blender, and I think this paper is one of them, just because it is so smooth. So I'm just going in with my Midnight Blue. There was one other colour to add in, but we'll do that in a minute and see if that makes any difference. And then I'm going to grab our blender. Thank you so much. Hopefully she'll be okay. As I say, I never know, and I just kind of hope for the best in the way of how it'll all look together, because you kind of have it in your brain and sometimes it doesn't always work out, and that's okay too. But you know, it's one of those things, until you do it, you'll never know. But mistakes are okay as well. We don't have to do everything plan, and I have to tell myself that more often, because I beat myself up sometimes for doing, and it's a picture. It's a picture. So it's super smooth. Yeah, happy accidents. Hey Vicky. Okay, so I'm going to just do one more colour in here just to go over, and that was our denim, and that's the other one that I picked out. Now, I'm going to put that more in towards the middle. You never learn truly, I don't think, until you've made a few mistakes or done something that you thought would work and didn't, because you learn and grow from it. And I truly think mistakes aren't, yeah, they are happy, because you'll never truly grasp something until you've made a mistake. That's like in life, isn't it? Like lessons. You have to go through bad stuff to get the lesson learned. Okay. So I quite like that. I think that's a nice deep blue. Thank you. Michaela, these are the Derwent Lightfast. I am going to be putting in, hi Alana, I will put in the conversions over to Prismas. Okay, so I quite like that. So let's just see, before I do any more of the blue, how the yellows look. So let's do that as well. Let's give that a go. So I'm going to just do them a minute and just see how that looks with this little emblem-y thing here. So banana was the first colour. Thank you. So it's a nice bright yellow, right? My favourite. Let me zoom you in, make sure it doesn't. If it starts to blur, I'm going to zoom you back out. So I'm going to go over with banana, which is honestly my favourite yellow in this set. Again, super light. This side's going to be lightest, that's darkest. So just go over slightly. I'm going to grab a juice in a moment if you don't mind. Okay, so that in the middle is a little gem. Oh, I love my polys, Marie. I'll always use them again. And then we went to Sienna. You'll see me use mine. I use them a lot for the hair. I did it on the hair series. So I'm just going to go in with some Sienna on my dark areas. You just can't eat in this though, can you? Like, I've not eaten. I had one bit of toast this morning. It's too hot to eat. It's just too hot to have like a meal. Just want something like picky that you can pick out. I've been watching Friends all morning while I've been doing things at home. I've been watching season 7. I love Friends so much. The one where Rachel's pregnant and Chandler and Monica get married. I've just watched the sweater episode when they have to discover who Rachel's baby's dad is, and it's obviously Ross, we know this. But yeah, I've been watching that one. And then I'm going to go over to, what did I use on it? Hold on, let me look at my thing. It was a bit of chocolate on the deepest. And then back to banana. Okay, so chocolate was just on the very edges, like, and I mean just a tiny bit, just to deepen. Yeah, I love them. Oh, I love them. Honestly, Friends is one of my favourite things in the world to watch, as well as one of my new favourites is Stranger Things. I've watched that 4 times. Okay, so when you're doing anything like this and you just want some shading, just add it in and then go back to your lightest colour. So I'm just going to go now all over. I need a Posca pen as well, but I'm just going to go over all of that. Why is that blurring? I have to zoom out. It's probably me. And then, where's my midnight black? Oh my gosh, it's amazing. I love the whole thing. Just gonna shadow a little bit on the underneath. It's honestly one of my favourite things at the moment. I just can't get enough of it. And every time I watch it, I sit there singing Never Ending Story. So I'm just concentrating for a second. Oh my gosh, Jessica Jones is another thing that I love as well. It's, oh, just love it. Okay, so I'm just going to go over to my banana. This one's going to have just minimal. Circles are a lot easier to do. I'm not going to do the chain yet, because if I do, I'm just going to lose it. Sienna. This isn't so much gold, this is just putting on some colour, if that makes sense. I still got to work out combinations properly. Oh yeah, I love them. Oh no, is it there as well? I think it's a heat wave everywhere. I haven't watched that, Jo Beth, no. And I've still not watched Homeland either. I've still got to catch up on Scandal. I love Kerry Washington. She's like one of my idols. That woman is insanely talented, beautiful, just rocks everything she does. She's one of my favourites. You haven't got one there? I'm coming over there then, May. It's so hot. I shouldn't complain though, because I'll still be moaning when it's snowing. I don't like snow, I just like the autumn. Oh no, Faye. Technology, eh? Technology. Where's my midnight black on? Okay, I'm just putting a tiny bit around. I need to feel a little bit more in there as well. So I'm just going to grab. Sorry, I'm really concentrating at this minute in time. I've got to grab up my banana. And again, just go make sure you're around all the circles. You don't have to be perfect. It's not about perfect. It's just about you're perfect, what you're happy with. Me too, Lozzie. Hey, Connie! How are you? How's a kind of, well, just lots of healing hugs and good wishes. I don't like to ask, just in, you know, but I hope your mum, bless her. Okay, so just a Posca pen. This is a 0.7, and just go round. You don't have to do everything, but we're just going to go around some. There we go. So I quite like this combination. I think it's going to be very nautical. Banana. Yes, I am. I absolutely love Angelina Jolie, and I love Maleficent. And Susie is one of her, I think, Maleficent's biggest fan. Okay, so banana. Just gonna do. I'm not gonna do the change yet because I've got a feeling that I'm gonna end up going over them with my indigo colours. One of my favourite villains is Jafar and Hook. Two of my favourites. Sienna. I hope you can see. Put it that side and you can. Sienna, go to your dark corner. So over here. And this side would be that side, wouldn't it? And then Midnight Black. I think villains are my favourites in general in the Disney films. And one of my other favourites is the guy, the voodoo guy in Princess and the Frog. I love his song. You know, it's just, I love it. I'm a bit of a Disney freak. But I know many of us share that as well. May, I know you don't. And then I'm just going to grab my white. Okay, we've got to do all the little trims and stuff, but we'll carry on with some more of this indigo. Right, this is going to be a larger area, so we're going to work on one bit at a time. I'm going to come over to my smaller bit. But what I am going to do is grab a juice. It will take me seconds, and so just bear with me because, yeah, I really am in need of juice. Yes, Tilly. Mummy is thirsty. She's a thirsty lady. I can't even think about having a cup of tea right now. Right, 2 minutes. Okay, I'm back. No, I haven't, Danny. And hi, Danny. No way. Is the Jafar no good? I was looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it, watching Aladdin. But they've got to have a good Jafar. I love Will Smith. Love him. Right, if I knock the camera, I apologise. I'm going to try not to. Okay. I was really thirsty. I'll come with you, Adria. I've got no one to go with me either. Oh my god, I'm so thirsty. Right, let's get back to this. So let's grab all our colours that we need. Right, yeah, okay. I think we'll go from Ocean Blue Dark first. Let's go for that. Let's take away our goldy bit. Yeah, we'll go. No, Andrew, I must admit, he does like Disney. He says he doesn't, and I'm like, But he loves going to the theatre with me, and he took me to Aladdin, and it was amazing. I've seen it twice. So he is a secret Disney fan. He will watch him. He likes Moana. He sings along to that only because I play it over and over and over again. I think I drive him mad. So we're going to go to Ocean Blue Dark, and that will be our first one. And we're coming over to this area first. I'm going to bring you there, as long as you can see. Nice, another one I haven't seen. I have a long list, so if there's any recommendations, throw them at me, because I am super behind on a lot of movies and I've got a list as long as my arm. But what I'm also doing, so whatever era you grew up in, so I was born in the 80s, grew up in the 90s, I've got a list of 100 favourite or 100 family favourites from that era, and I've been working my way through that list, so that's been fun. I've kind of watched 3/4 of them now. Like, I've watched them before anyway, but I'm going through them again, and a lot of my favourite films are in it, so I've been like having a great old time. Yeah, and Frozen 2 is coming out. Yeah, so it's a good idea. I think whatever era you really enjoyed and you grew up in and you've got nostalgia, it's good to have a little look. You can go online and you can just type in or Google like the 100 top movies or top books. I've also got a list of books to read in a lifetime as well. I've only read a few of those though, because some of them really do not appeal to me. And I like a list. I love lists. I really do love a list. So there's a few things that I'm doing like that way. So all the newer movies I'm way behind on, because I love anything 80s and 90s, and I've been watching a lot of that, even from the 80s. The Back to the Future I watched the other day, 1, 2 and 3. E.T. Labyrinth, I watched that the other day. I've been watching quite a lot of things, but more old rather than new. Okay, so all I'm doing at the moment, as you know, is just planning out where I want light and dark. So this is my dark, and we'll go in deeper after. Now this part, I'm going to go with what the shading says. So the shading that's there is saying that that middle bit is light and this part is dark. So we're going to go with that. And oh, sorry about that. And just sort of bring that in. So that's where that tone goes. Oh, Never Ending Story, you have to watch that. Of course I have. I used to love that, didn't I, Mum? I used to have it on VHS. And Labyrinth. I used to watch that all the time. Okay, so Midnight Blue is our lightest. So we're just going to go over to our lightest now. All right, Kenny. I hope you have a nice little nap. So I'm going to go to the middle with my lightest shade. And this is where your planning comes in, right? Because we've got to go over this, you know, quite a few times. So just go. None of this is going to have white areas. Just remember that. So just go into where you want lightest with your lightest colour. So in this case, it's our Midnight Blue. I've still got loads to do, but I'll sort everything out tomorrow. Thing is, it will dry so quick in this heat, so it's a good day to do it. But this heat also makes you want to do everything very early before it gets too hot. So if you can see that, you'll see where the light and dark is. So it's not, this is not how it's going to look. So here, down the middle is lightest, and on the edges is darkest. Now's where you come in with your shading. So we're going to grab our dark indigo next. Again, this is just showing you the techniques of how I do things. And I'm going to start building on where I want, you know, my shading to go. So this is quite textured, her hat. And I'm just going to come down here. She's got sort of an area that's dark either side, which is bizarre. Usually it's one side light, one side dark, but I'm going to go with it. I'm going to see how this turns out. So the ocean blue dark will go into the very deep parts because that is our darkest colour. Oh, sounds good. Thank you. Yeah, I think that's just because of the blender. So we'll see how this comes out. See, I think our blender is going to be our best friend on this, to be honest. Because the paper is so smooth. And I think the Derwent Lightfast pencils take better to a slight tooth because they are made for artists, you know. They are artist grade pencils. So remember, the more expensive your pencils are, they probably will like tooth your papers because they're designed with that in mind. Like, you know, your artist grade papers and stuff. I think they're going to enjoy that a little bit more. I know. I'm going to go for a really sun-kissed, I think. Take care. I know, it's so hot here. I'll tell you what it's going to be. You want to see? Do you want to feel sorry for me? Okay. So, if I turn that, this is what it is at the moment. And look at what that says. 37. Please take that in and feel sorry for me on Thursday. It is going to be 37. As I said, you've got to feel sorry for me. I'm going to melt. If you come and see me, I might be a puddle on the floor. So don't step over me. Put me in a bucket. I might reassemble one day. Okay, so I'm just going to come underneath here. And come up a little bit. Let's just do that. Yeah, if you see me, just put me in a bucket. I might have lost a bit of weight by that point because I'm going to seriously. I know. Oh my gosh. You know, I might have like lost the amount of water in my body. I might have lost the stone or 14 pounds by that point. Let's hope. You never know. Wishful thinking, eh? Okay, so this is going to take some time, I think, because it's so smooth. Yeah, we'll see. We're the same April. So I've got to start sort of building this together now. I might go quiet for a second. So with the dark areas I've just put in, I'm going to start to blend together the midnight blue. It just takes some time. Don't be frightened. Shut up. You're not Chubb. Oh my gosh. Susie. I've got enough of my own. Let's just sit outside and then we might melt a bit. Seriously, these are the times I wish I was up in Scotland. You seem to get the cooler weather than us. Okay, so this needs blending, obviously. This is not blended. Hey, Unicorn, good to see you. And we're going to go over to, this is going to take a while, so we're not going to do all of this today, I don't think. See how we get on. Our dark ocean blue dark is just going to go the deepest areas, I think. So underneath. I'm going to try and not hit the chain because that has got to be gold. So I'm going to try and not hit it with any colour, and it's really, really hard not going around it. Is the screens okay for you, or is it blurry? Is it okay? I know, that's what I said. We're getting like you guys in the US. I was like, holy moly, we're going to melt. Your screen's all right. Hi, Loretta. How are you doing, dear? So we've got to blend this all, which we will do, and then we can add some more. Yeah, so that's kind of the colours. And now we've got to blend. We've got to blend. I know, Lozzie. Funnily enough, me and Melody were talking about this morning. Well, not that long before the stream about aircon. And I think in the UK, we're going to have to start considering getting some units because our temperatures are changing. We never used to have a need for it, but I think now that the world's changing, we need it. Okay, so blender. This is just a Derwent blender, my favourite one. Yeah, well, I think we're going to have to start considering getting a mobile unit here because it's just getting hotter and hotter and hotter as the years go on, and it's getting more unbearable. Okay, so just going to blend out the colours that, oh my gosh, got on the page. The blender does not take well to... Everything is hot though today, so everything is a lot softer. Like super hot. Yeah, we didn't have a need for it really because we didn't reach temperatures that you guys used to have. Because you're nearer to the equator, we're furthest and we're only small. But as the world changes, we're getting a lot warmer now than we ever did before. And consequently, we're going to have to get air conditioning at some point. Even if we get like, we're not going to necessarily have it installed. Just, well, you know, one of those mobile units that you can buy, they're like £200–300, and you can just take it around in any room then that you're in. So if you go to bed, take it into the bedroom. If you're in the front room, you know, vice versa. Oh, really? Have that? You know, a good way, Lozzie, I do it for bars. Have you got a tile? Go to B&Q and buy a tile and let them have it in the corner and they can sit on it and it's cool. Just a tile, a nice, like a tile about that big, a nice cold tile. Oh my gosh, ignore it. It's just, my phone always seems to ring when I come on here and I can't answer it in a moment. Okay, so I'm just going to go to Denim like I did on the other one, and I'm just going to put in some. I think people wait for me to stream before they go. Yeah, Melanie, for I think getting a tile, just they only cost like a couple of pounds, £4. You can eat. You know what I did? I just asked B&Q if they've got a sample one, a sample tile that they can't send. Just get one of those. It doesn't cost you them, but they don't cost, and they're really handy to have. And it's a good way of keeping them cool. A tile for them to have. Okay, so I'm really liking Michelle. Out with someone, so she decided no. But anyone that you think is affected would be good. And then Tony's going to give it straight back to me, and I'll get it out. I know there's a second class stamp in there, but I'll go and post it first class anyway. All right. I think it put everything in there that we were looking for. Yeah. All right then. Perfect. All right. Bye. One, you can't stop these things happening. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. It was my neighbour. So I put a letter through. I help out with certain things, and yeah, so I would put a letter through a door anyway. Okay, hi Lisa, good to see you. Right, we're back onto this side. Now with this part, we've got a lot of a lighter area, so we're going to have a lot more of the midnight blue in there. But we're going to start off with our ocean blue dark because it is a really nice colour. Let me just put 1 second, everyone. Try refreshing. It's the heat as well, everyone. Remember, the heat at the moment, it affects the internet. Okay, so we're going to come to our ocean blue dark, and we're going to come in here. Now, I might need midnight black. Just sort of plan out where you want dark to go. And then here as well, so just a little bit of planning. Same with bringing down the shade into about here. So just like that, not too much. What I am going to suggest is grabbing your midnight black, because under here you want to make exaggerated. So if you grab your midnight black, it will just make the underneath of that area there sort of just stand out as a separate section. You don't want it to kind of join because they're two completely separate bits. So just add enough on the underneath to make it stand out. That's it. So just a tad. Now, midnight blue is our lightest shade. So we're going to go to that. Is that all? I know. Did you see the eyes there? They freaked me out. But yeah, I did see. Her books are beautiful, but the eyes on the last one, that was freaky because she got no eyes. They're all starry, and that was the only thing I went, oh no, her eyes. Okay, so that's going to go in the middle. So you see how light that middle bit's going to be. Oh, is it just as a PDF again? Well, we'll end up buying it. There we go. So that's going to be nice and bright. Then if you go over to your dark indigo, we can start to now shade. So just bring that shading down. It will all come together by the end. So just remember, what things look like at the beginning will never be what it looks like by the end, because you've got your work to put in. So your planning is just helping you out. Oh, Anna, go over to Instagram and have a look. She popped it up today, but you've been out doing wonderful things. So I would have showed you a bit later. Yeah, she's doing a galaxy one. There we go. And then back to our midnight. And then we're going to kind of bring that all together. So if I do the hat, this would probably be the most time consuming bit, because this part isn't actually too much. It will look nice by the end. Oh, looking at eyeballs, they're like stars. It freaked me out. I know, I'm never going to say. It's like if I was ever getting married, the wedding would be off. Because I'd have no money. Andrew, how much did you save this month, Sam? Well, I did save so and so, but then Anastasia Elly Koldereva bought out Nocturnes, so it kind of went there. And then I thought, yeah, then the story continued. But you know what it's like. Right, blender, before we go further. So just grab the blender. See how much brighter it brings the colours out as well. So sadly with this paper, I think you're going to have to use a blender, but you've got all your colours that you've chose, and you've put it in the pattern that you want it to be. So this is a good question, because tools and things and your skills and everything changes all the time. What's your current favourite set of pencils, or your current favourite mediums to use? Have you changed since the beginning of your journeys? And this is to those that do watch this back as well. Has your likes changed, your taste changed, your performances changed with your tools, hence why you like different stuff now? Just, it's nice to know, because I like listening to people's journeys. Okay, so it's a nice bright part. Thank you. Yeah, Prismas are just such an all-round. Is that their colour blends? Is that their markers? Paper polys. They are lovely. Yeah, pencils. The Copics are amazing though. No naming. I think there's so many things that change as we go through. Some things will always say, you never do pencil. Oh, the pencil colour blends. Yeah, I do know what you're on about. Sorry. My mind was a blank then. Are they your favourites? Right, before we bring our denim in, I'm just going to add this ocean blue. And then I'm just going to bring the denim. There's so many things, and you know, for me, and I think many of you can relate, when you suffer with chronic pain, your time sitting is limited. So like today, what I've done with you, that'll be it. Yeah, I won't go and do anything for myself now, because I'm pretty much done, like back-wise. So it's going with the amounts of times that you can sit for, and usually between 2 and 3 hours sitting is quite a long time. So I won't then go off and do my own stuff, because I just haven't got the back power for it. Discovered 2 colour people I remember used to laughing. Yeah, I know, told you. Yeah, I love different brands. You love your Cali Arts with Prismas. It is easier on the hand. Marker bases always. Oh, you learned from us to colour faces. I don't like fur, but I've been enjoying it recently, which is weird. I love all my art stuff too. I love everything. You learn to do hair from me when I'm happy to have been of some use. I'm really loving this blue. Let me see a minute. Bear with me, everyone. You're going to just go for a little bit of a move. Oh. Because if I come a bit further out and zoom a bit in, you might have a better picture. Bear with me. Right, just bear with me, everyone. I am moving you for a minute just because I'm trying to work out. That's it. It's like better for my arm as well. It's a lovely blue. So it goes with it. I think it's going to go really nice with it. And I think what would be a nice addition with your Posca is like a stitching effect. So we'll do it on the top of that one as well. I think that'll look nice. They're so soft though, aren't they? Yes, hey, Christina, a colouring book snob. I don't mind crappy papers. I hate to say that, but I don't mind crappy papers because I can make it work. But yeah, okay, we're gonna move now to our ocean blue again. Hey Claire. Okay, so again, we're going to do the same. Now, this is a larger area, so larger areas are a lot more harder to manipulate and it takes a lot longer. So don't be fearful of how it looks at first, because remember, these have never looked smooth until I've got the blender on them. So, you know, things will get there. So go for your planning first. Let's go for darkest will be all these areas, right? So we come here first. So just plan it out. So we're at a distance for a minute so I can show you. So we'll go here and bring some of this shading down. So are we okay to just do the hat for the moment? I don't want to bore you doing the same thing. But I have to kind of just, I'm giving you just how I'm doing the whole thing. Otherwise, this will probably be over 4 streams. So this is week, or not week 2, this is stream 2. I know, we're the same. Claire, we're all, I love it how everyone comes in and says, I'm melting. I'm not the only one. You know what, Loretta? What, the one in the, are they in like a red box? Yes, I am, KP. I've got to gather them all together. I've got so many to show. I haven't done one in such a long time. But this week I have 2 free videos to put out. And actually I need to gather all of my completed pages for a few months. But I had a couple of months where I didn't colour as much. It was like 2 pictures because I was doing stuff for the channel. And yeah, I thought it's not worthy of a video doing 2 or 3. I don't know how you guys colour so much with channels. I'm like, where do you get your time? Mind you, I can't sit for as long, that's why. I'm so like envious of people like May. She does so many pictures. I'm like, May, can I have your hands? She does her watercolor painting, her pictures, her streams. And I'm like, how do you get all that in? I just can't do it. I've tried, but my back just won't allow me. There you go. See, I'm the same. I know. Yes, Loretta, I think they are underrated. They are an amazing budget pencil, and they were my first ever set before I got my polys that I bought. And I learned how to grasp coloured pencils with those Faber-Castells. Then I started to buy singles of polychromos, and that was it. I was hooked. May, don't just wink. Can you tell me your secret? Look at her just winking like, yeah, I do that. Yeah. And you know, May's just sitting there like, yeah, I'm not telling you guys. Look, see, she's even laughing. Oh, there you go. I can't help it. I know. I love my telly. You don't watch anything, May? Do you read? Or is this just truly what you dedicate all your time, your spare time, as well as, oh, you're a mum and a wife, but your spare time? Oh, really? See? So you really do like dedicate all your time to it. Now I love my telly. I do both. Like, I'll have the telly on, but if I'm watching something and I concentrate, I'm not colouring. Okay, so I'm just putting where I want my darks to go. So it's a larger space, so just go lightly with it. And then come over to your lighter colour. Take care, Connie. Thanks for coming. Hi, Joanne. Oh no, I hope, Connie, I don't want to ask out loud, but I hope you're okay, and a big, big hug. I don't know what's gone on, but we're all behind you. Okay, we're going to go to Midnight Blue, and this will be where our lightest areas are. So just a light hand at the moment. Remember, you're planning, you're going to layer up. You can email me if you want, Connie, at any time. But take care, and I'll see you soon. And when you're ready, we'll all be here when you come back. Okay, so all over. All the light areas now. Yeah, see, you've got summer holidays as well, right? Now, May. So you'll be off doing stuff a bit more. I don't know what new books are coming out. Yeah, I try. That's the thing. I stick something on, but if it's something new, right, this is my pattern. I don't know if anyone else is the same. If I've got to watch something new, I can't do both. It's one or the other, because my attention just quickly goes to what I'm watching and I abandon ship. How apt. If you are colouring a picture, I stick something on that I've seen before so that I just have to look up. So I don't have to concentrate truly what's on the telly, but it's there as sort of background noise, if that makes sense. So I'm not kind of, I know what's going on, I'm watching it, but half-heartedly. So I do that instead. Okay, so all this above that dark area is going to be light, and the same with this part. So I usually stick something on that I've watched. I'm just going to have to turn you, and all that's going to be a bit lighter. I think Friday will be a bit cooler as well, Joanne. I think it's going to go down from 37 to 27, which is a big difference. Okay, so you can see now where you're going to go with your shading, right? So that's where our light and darks are going to be. I hope you're okay, actually. So with our dark indigos next, and we're going to start to build on that because it's going to look like the rest of it. So dark indigo is going to go where our ocean blue was, and we're still going to put the ocean blue dark in, but it's giving it a bit of a deeper tone. So now we're going to start to build on top. I can zoom in one, and hopefully it won't. Yeah, it will start to. I think we've got a bit of a time yet with it. Okay, hopefully it won't. All right, are you good on your screens? So start in circular motions to build on what you've got there, and we'll start to get it looking like the other side. Hey, Laura. Oh, really? I think different strokes for different folks, though, isn't it? So what works for one might not necessarily work for another. I usually have background noise on, but then there are days that I want complete silence. But when I colour, I usually have something that I've previously watched on. There we go. So we're going to start to build up. It's going to look good. Marie? Oh, it's red and grey, yeah. It's one of those, I got told it was something else, but I've made like a hybrid. So just quickly while I'm here, I'm just going to put the midnight blue on the top there and bring it also into this section. So we're going to just sort of play on the colours that we've got. And don't forget, you're going to bring the blender in on this. So again, oh, dark indigo. Has anyone watched the new Men in Black with Hemsworth in it? Was it any good? It looked alright. Okay, and then, hey, Kathy. Was you out in your garden? Yeah, most people stick on YouTube, hence the streams. And if you're here with me, that means that you're doing the same, and I appreciate you. But you can also have other hobbies whilst you colour. At the moment, I'm reading a couple of books. I've just finished The Passengers, and I'm also reading. Is anyone like the Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children? Has anyone seen the film, read the books? They're really good. Well, Ransom Riggs, he's the author. He has this really short story book called Tales of the... Let me just quickly sidetrack. It's a hardback book, and I think I got it for like £5. It's really good. So the spine is a book. Anyway, I've only just started it. So I've only just literally dived into it, and I've read all of the other books, and I really fancied reading this, and it's got different stories in it, so it will tell you the stories that's in this. So you've got the Splendid Cannibals, you've got the Fork-Tongued Princess, the First Imbrine, the Woman Who Befriended Ghosts, Cockabolo, the Pigeons of St. Paul's, the Girl Who Could Tame Nightmares, the Locust, the Boy Who Could Hold Back the Sea, and the Tale of the Cuthbert. And I just think it's really nice because not all the time do you want a full story, you just want little short stories. And I really fancied this because I love Miss Peregrine's. So I thought, yeah, when I fancy a short story, I'm going to dive into that. When I fancy my thriller, I'm reading, what's it called? Can't remember now. I've only just started it, but it's a thriller. Oh, is it good? Is it good? I really want to see it. So yeah, I love reading. I love reading, and especially in this heat. And I can't sit. I'm laying on the sofa, and I've got the fans on me and the fur babies. I can just lay on the sofa and read. Okay, so I'm going to get my blender, and again, see the difference. It really sort of blends those colours together. I think the paper is not working pretty good for me on this. It was working well in strokes, working well on small areas, but I think with the larger areas, it's not. So it's had to resort to a blender, I'm afraid, which is working really well. Oops. Sorry about that. I still haven't done it. I haven't done it. I need to come back. No, it's because I had some time off. Lots happened. And then Tilly was really ill. She's okay now, we think. I took her to the vet yesterday, and they think that it's not anything sinister, but again, they still can't tell unless you do more tests, and they think it's the infection's gone. I can't drink Coke because it's fizzy. I'm not allowed any more fizzies. Isn't that beautiful combination? I'm loving that. Okay, dark indigo. So again, we're going to come up here. I miss Coke. I'm drinking Ribena, the sugar-free passion fruit, when I was such a kid. I'm jealous, especially in this heat. Coke with ice and super cold coming out of the fridge. Oh my gosh, that would be heaven. You know, when you see the commercial adverts, I have to say both because a lot of you are in the US. We call them adverts here in the UK. And you see the Coca-Cola adverts, and they've always got like cold dripping down the glass where it's so cold, and the guy's guzzling it, and you're like, yeah, well, No. Not fair. And also, it's misguiding about Diet Coke. Where's the Diet Coke man every time you open a can? He's not around. So, yeah, I feel robbed. Okay. I've got to do so many things. It's unbelievable. But I need to also have a balance because, yeah, there's life as well. Right. What was the next colour? Next colour is Midnight Blue again. You right there, Tilly? Hey, baby girl. Oh, she's come further close so she can see what I was doing. She's out. She's on her gym. She's never in, ever. She's a free flight bird. She's always on her play gym that's custom built for her. Okay, so just blend that all into those colours that you've put down. See how it's going to work. Yeah, but at the minute I'm on this stand above me and I can't at the minute, but I can show you like pictures or a little video of her. But Miss Tilly is on her gym, and if I turn the camera you're just going to see fans. Buzz is good. He's such a little old man now. He's getting old. He's slowing down. That's the one thing I've noticed about Buzz recently. He's slowing down so much because he's like 4.5 and they live to sometimes 5 or 6. So he's like really slow and he's not going on his wheel every night like he used to. He has some nights where he won't. So he is slowing down a lot. And Chip is Chip, you know. Chip's just Chip. Chip is funny and crazy and dominates my life and I love him. But yeah, Buzz, bless him, I've noticed that recently. When I get him out and he has a little cuddle and I put him on the floor, his walking is so slow. I'm like, Buzz. It is a hard one to blend. It is, but this paper doesn't make it any easier. So if you find it hard to blend, this is going to be hard. I haven't played that yet. No, she's so well trained, Marie. She's 8 now and she's been out since she was a baby. She only goes to a few places and she comes over to me and she's yeah, no, she's good. Yeah, it's going slow. Hey, you're welcome back. Yeah, he's slowing down. Age, you can't stop age. Right, over to my Derwent blender. And we've got the right blend. We've just got to blend it now properly. So if you find blues hard to blend out, I mean, I don't generally, but this paper's not liking it. So I think we're going to just, everything else is going to be fine, I think. It's just generally going to be the larger areas on this hat. So that's okay. That's what we've got the tools for. That's why we bought the blenders. Gives me a reason to use them. I never use them really. I did before. This blender I've had for so long. There we go. So nice and blended together then. Yeah, he doesn't even like he doesn't take much notice of her. She wants to play with him, but he doesn't take much notice of her, kind of thing. He just lets her do her own thing, which is nice because then I can trust him, you know. But yeah, they're all good. I mean, he's used to her because he's grown up with her being here when I had him as a pup. And I think whoever they grow up with, they're always going to be used to. Because I had Chip from a couple of months. Old, I think. When did I get him? 4 months old, 3 months old, 3 months old. So he's not had her in his life since he was 3 months. And Tilly loves to play with anyone and anything. She's so friendly. She'll come. She's tried landing on him a few times, and I'm like, no, don't do that. She loves to fly over and like say hello and give you a kiss. That's her thing. She loves to give you a kiss. Hey, you darling. So we're going to go over to the other part of the hat. I think she's really working well, the blues, like together. I think it's going to be the look I'm going for. Don't ever apologise, Joey. I can't judge by this paper, but I'm going to say they're quite equal, Claire. I love my Loomies though, but we'll know by the skin tones what my ultimate prediction is. My ultimate prediction is going to be on the skin, and I'll tell you then. But I love them both. They're very much alike in how they feel. So yeah, they're very alike. Very, very alike. I think they're so similar. They look similar as well in the way that they've presented the barrels. And they're both a very high grade artist pencil. So yeah, they've both got a thumbs up though. I love my Loomies. I love all my pencils. So I am one of the hardest people to ask about pencils, because I'll say, I love this one. I love that one. Oh, what do you like? Oh, I love them. Oh, do you like these ones? Oh yeah, I love those. I'm not a broken record. But yeah, they do feel very similar. And actually, the colour range of blues are very similar, except there's a couple of darker tones in the Lightfast. Lightfast have a slightly more true to life tone. They are easier to read. I think with the Loomies, being the price of them, that's one thing they have to improve on, is that their names stay visible, because they rub off so quick. And I think being that they are so expensive, that's one thing they need to desperately improve on, because you don't expect to pay, you know, close to $200 and they rub off with a few uses. It's one thing I think they really do have to sort of go to marketing, their marketing people, and kind of like say, you need to improve on that. That's the only thing I'd say. Apart from that, I love them, but I think that they do need to improve on that. Just for the sake of, I mean, it's hard to see anyway because of them being silver, the writing being silver, but you've only got to hold it a number of times and you look and the numbers have come off and it's crazy. But yeah, no, I love them. And I think these are extremely similar in the way that they feel. Okay, so all I'm doing at the moment, I'm not blending like seamlessly. I'm just putting my colours together how I want it to lay down. So I've gone for my dark indigo and I'm just putting down my midnight blue. And again, you'll find that I work in circular motions very lightly outwards. Yeah, and yeah, it's my only minus about them. And also, there was given a tip to put a bit of clear nail varnish over them when you first get it, or a bit of tape or something, so that it preserves it. But I always forget because I just put them in the pencil case because I'm so excited to get them. Like when I do my top-ups, I'm always too excited. Yeah, clear nail varnish, yeah. Yeah, I think that is my only downside to them though, because I can't give them a bad name on their performance, because actually they are one of the best pencils to use and one of the most reliable pencils when it comes to portraits especially, and they just mix well with other brands as well, which I like, because I'm not one to, this is like a task for me to just use one. Yeah, I just answered. But I like to mix my brands, and I'd mix these in with Prismas, because Prismas have 150 and these have got 72. Well, it's going to be 100, but the 72 tints just say. So if I wanted to make up the additional colours or add in some colours, I would mix both sets when I'm using, or even polys, grab my polys and use additional colours in with this as well. That is the one set. I don't dislike them, just not got to love them yet, my Pablos. Only ones. The only ones that I have not had time to kind of get to love. I like them, but I haven't got to love them yet. Although the only time that I have is when I've used them with polys. But as a standalone set, no. I think Pablos are beautiful. I've not had a great experience with them. Whereas all my others I probably have. And weirdly, I've had better experiences with my Black Widows over my Pablos, and they're a huge difference in price. Okay, so I'm kind of liking how that's gone. Now, what I'm going to do is grab my blender. I'm going to blend this out first before we go in with denim, and we're going to see what I want to do with that trim. I think the middle I want to do with indigo. We'll see. So that's dark here, so I want to keep that quite dark and mix that in with the lights. Let's keep that dark there. Also here. What's the time? 6 o'clock. Yeah, I'm going to have to do this hat and then take little Chippy out. So just blend out all these colours that you've done here. And the best way to blend is blend like from outwards in, because you're dragging down some of your darker into your light, so it blends outwards. If you come in, you're going to overpower, you're sort of taking light back into the dark areas, which is not what you want. You want your dark to come down and meet your light. Who's streaming after me today? Because I might give it an hour, and if there's nobody, Connie isn't, is she? Who's usually after me? This is the Derwent one, okay. So remember, dark into light. So bring your dark that you've just put down. Oh, Vicky's on. Sorry, I didn't know. Is Vicky usually on? Oh, sorry, I really didn't know that. Okay, I can't come back then. Because I was going to take a little bit of a break and come back because I want to finish her clothing. But what time are you on, Vicky? 7? 8? Okay. No, that's fine. I'll come back after you. What time are you going on? I can go on after. That's fine. Go on, honestly. That's why I'm asking. That's why I'm asking out loud. I'm asking. What time are you usually? 7? Is it 7 my time, right? So if I come off a bit earlier, Vicky, you can go straight on because I've got a walk chip. But when you finish, I might come back and do this because I'm not here Thursday. I'm not on Thursday. My usual slot is it's no one's time. It's just what time I usually come on. I'm not doing Thursday this week. but I've got to go and do a couple of things in between, so I can't stay solidly. I need a couple of hours anyway. So it's like, stay away for a bit and come back. So I'll come on after you, lady. Okay, so denim just going into all these areas that I may have like missed with my midnight blue. Yep, so that's gone kind of how I really wanted it to. Yeah, it's got to have, I'm going to bring in some of that. This part here has got quite a heavily shaded area. So if you kind of just bring that out with your blender again. It's got quite a lot of shading, but I've got to bring in some of that ocean blue and some midnight black. Vicky, don't rush. 2 hours is perfect. Even 3 would be fine. I will just keep this all set up and come back later. That's fine. Fine, my darling. I just don't want to interfere. Okay, ocean blue dark. Back to this for a second. And like, you know where you got the chains? As I said, because I'm not here on Thursday, I'm back Saturday. Right, so here has like a trim. And same on here, so we've got to bring some of that midnight blue up as well. Are you working on your lady? You've done her skin, it looks amazing. Hey Pat! Thanks for popping in on your lunch break. Midnight blue. Midnight blue. So we're going up here with our midnight blue, which is on this like top trim here. So very, very lightly. Just around. And just keep that nice and smooth. And then grab your blender. Well, I'll put all the colours later in the descriptions, and I'll put the conversions over too. And because I have converted over the blues into Prismas, barring one, which is hard to do. Okay, so it is nice and deep, isn't it? What I'm going to do, I'm just going to turn. I'm going to bring my white Posca, just do like a little stitch. Just along that trim. So just, you only need like a tiny, just space them about the same amount. So it keeps it. There we go. And I'm kind, one second, I'm just gonna, no, let me just take that bit out. Let's do that straight. It's trying to get it straight. That's it. It's fine, I didn't mind doing it. It took a little while, but I'm really liking how that's, it's like that nautical feel that I'm heading for. So with that, I know I'm gonna bring down, she's got some clothing here, and she's got some clothing here underneath. Now remember, I've not done some of that hair because I've got to go in with other colours first. This part here will be the blue too, and we'll do like a brown here, so it's like a corset. I'm not doing the face today, it's just going to be all the clothing and finish up. I might make a start on one of the feathers as well. I just think that it goes really nice. I really wanted a nautical feel about her. And that little gem as well. I might do that in a red right in the middle. But all this in the middle here is going to be the same colours. But I must. Okay, I'll catch you later. What I might do, I have to go very quickly because I've got to take Munchkin out. I haven't yet. I've just signed up. I was telling Susie, I've just signed up to Kirsty Partridge Arts. I can't wait. But I've not had the time. But I can't wait. Can't wait. I'm gonna do some of her stuff and get stuck in on my own. I can't wait, honestly. I'm excited. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to quickly go for now. Vicky, you're welcome to come on now. I know I'm usually on till 7, but I'm gonna have to run, take Mr. Chips out, do some dinner because I obviously got to eat, and then if you want to catch me, I'll be back later. I'm gonna say within within the next 3 hours. So yeah, thank you so much, and I'm so sorry about the beginning with the gremlins on YouTube. But we got there in the end on doing some of this, and it's going to be one of those slow progress ones, but we'll get there. Thank you so much for joining me for now. Hopefully I will see some of your beautiful faces later. If not, have a great day, and I will see you on Saturday because I'm not around on Thursday. So lots of love, everyone. Take care. Thank you, guys. Thank you. See you later. See you soon, hopefully. Bye.